Hi everybody, welcome back to my Madisonville garden. I hope you saw my welcome video the other day. I was just introducing myself and my garden and giving an overview. But today we're going to flip the camera around and take a tour of at least this section of the garden and give you an overview of it. Uh, that's the neighbor's fence right there. And I want to give you a close-up look of what we got going on. So we'll start from the beginning here. Um, just planted these a couple of weeks ago. This is celery. I notice not a whole lot of gardeners try celery, but they're really cool to grow. Tiny, tiny seeds. But I just put them in all the seeds in one pot, and as they come up, I separate them and then I plant them. Next to it, basil. I did plant these seeds, but really don't have to because basil seems to reseed and grow wild around here. Another basil. And this is a volunteer. We get a lot of those in this perfect spot for it. The way I look at it is if something wants to grow that bad in my garden, I'm going to let it grow. I have no idea what kind of tomato it is, but we're going to find out. And this is my onion bed. I planted these a while back. Let's see, it was December, and they were sets, onion sets. I have tried every kind of way to grow onions, from seed, from sets, from small plants, and I've had success with each way. These, quite honestly, haven't bulbed like I would like them to, which is interesting because the last couple of years we got nice big bulbs. But they're still absolutely delicious. Doesn't have to be a big bulb to be used as an onion. So now on the other side here, we planted back in January several fruit trees. Let me back up here for a second. This is a nectarine tree. These were potted trees, and this is their first year that we have them in the ground. And this is a pear tree. I believe it is a Kiefer pear. So they're doing fine. Uh, just dug a hole about the same size as the pot and put them in the ground. Right next to that, we have a blueberry plant, and they're not ripe yet, but we got a lot of blueberries. This one's in a big pot. So actually, I've had more success putting blueberry plants in a pot than in the ground. Maybe because I can control the soil a little bit better. So we go down this little alley here. This is a nectarine tree, and this guy's on his 4th year, and I still do not see any nectarines. I'm not giving up, but and I have been pruning it, taking care of it, but still, as of yet, no nectarines. And as you can see, it's in the garden, in the vegetable garden. We do not have good soil here, so I figured let's try putting a tree in the garden soil. And I mean, it's doing great, but no fruit yet. And I didn't mean for this to happen, but it's the nectarine tree is turning out to be a trellis for this tomato plant. I don't have one spot for tomato plants. I just kind of put them all over the garden. This is a Sun Gold, and it's absolutely enormous and very healthy. There are some tiny tomatoes up in there. It's in a raised bed, and all I've been doing with this one is just watering it. Next to it, these are Roma tomatoes, and yeah, well, we got the first Roma tomato coming up. See if I can get a shot of it. Yeah. So, yeah, every garden's got to have tomatoes. Now, this is actually, I've devoted this raised bed here to asparagus, and I got them I should have picked these. They're kind of growing up. We went away for the weekend, so for a few days, but you have to plant asparagus crowns and then wait. You got to be patient. This is the third year, and the first year I started picking them, and we've picked quite a bit, to tell you the truth. So it's fun to grow asparagus, but you do have to be patient. And watching over the asparagus bed is our apple tree. I got to admit, I'm very happy, very proud even to have apples growing. We just, we eat a ton of apples and never thought we could. But this variety is Anna, and just picked this up at Tractor Supply, bare root, and it's covered in apples. We got apples last year, quite a few, and they were delicious. So, yeah, good stuff. And then right across, we have a nice trellis, and what's growing up is muscadines. Last year, we had thousands of muscadines. I didn't even know what to do with them. Ate some, juiced some, but muscadines do well in the south. They just do great down here. They're kind of like a warm weather grape. And this is a nice big sunflower I put there. Planted a seed. Every year I got a couple of sunflowers going, just for fun. And this was a big one. And I believe this was Velvet Queen. So this trellis has served us well. That's another grapevine, muscadine. So I planted this one a year later, last year. And the other muscadine was 2 years ago. So we turn around. Next to the apple tree, this is a plum tree. And I'm very excited because this tree is in its 4th year, and look, finally, I tell you, with fruit trees, you do have to be patient. It's not like vegetables, not like lettuce, not instant gratification. You got to be patient, but it's so worth it. And we finally have, it's just a few right now, but that's okay. It tells me the tree is alive and doing well. I'll bet you next year this thing's going to be loaded with plums. And then that's watching over this bed here, which is our potatoes. Potatoes are easy, fun to grow. Got a bag of potato seeds from O'Keeffe's here in Covington, Louisiana, and just put them in this raised bed, and have not done a thing except occasional watering. And look how well they're doing. I can't wait. When I dig these up, we'll put that on video too. We'll have a potato reveal, as they say. Have a couple of blueberry plants in the ground. You can see the difference. I mean, they're alive, but they're not doing as well as the blueberry plant that's in the big pot. So now we have yet another fruit tree. This is it's called Orient pear. I mean, I know about Asian pears, and so I'm going to assume they're very related, but so far she's not producing anything. So, but again, we love Asian pears, or Orient pears, and it's so healthy. I know in the future this tree will be producing a lot of fruit. Let me tell you about this raggedy looking guy here. This was the first thing we put in the garden, in the yard. So that was like 16 years ago. And it it won't do anything, but it won't die. And I've done just about everything. I've pruned it, given it all kinds of compost. We are thinking if nothing happens this year, we may be part of the compost pile, but we'll see. It's tough to say goodbye because it was the first thing we planted back in the corner of the yard. So I'm going to go over to this section here and back up. This is a trellis that's connecting two raised beds, and for the most part I have pumpkins, cantaloupes, beets, more pumpkins, and let's see, what is that, zucchini. But I want to talk about pumpkins because at least where I live, this is South Louisiana, they can be difficult. But I learned, and this is just anecdotal evidence, got a little pumpkin down there. I put it in a big grow bag, so it's off the ground, and I got the vine growing up the trellis. I have done this before, and I've had success. When I let pumpkin vines grow on the ground, there's no way. The vine squash borers get to them. But I don't know if it's scientific fact. All I know is whenever I get pumpkins off the ground, keep the vines up, I have no issues with vine squash borers. And check this out, y'all. Got a nice pumpkin growing, and really cool feeling to just, for Halloween, go get your own pumpkin. Down here, this is in the ground. Haven't had problems with cantaloupes like I do with pumpkins, but I got these in the ground. A very fertile piece of the garden here. This was earliest garden, and I'm training these to grow up the trellis too. So cantaloupe and pumpkin, they seem to be getting along quite well. So I'm going to turn around and go on the other side of this garden now. Look at the bottom here. I have planted a couple of seeds, watermelon seeds, and they go into town. These are, if you could see up close, it is moon and stars. And watermelons grow like crazy down here. And St. Vincent's taking care of them, watching over them. In the back here, I mentioned this in my welcome video, but this is rosemary, a little herb garden, and I tell you, you go to the stores, you buy a little rosemary plant, $5.99, and that's fine. You wanna get it, but this was a 10 cents pack of seeds, and just going great. I had a couple of other things back there. but yeah, I transferred them. I'll get to those later. This is my artichoke plant. It took me a couple of years to figure out artichokes, see what the issue was, but I don't know. Maybe they're just a biennial, but they're doing quite well this year. I'm going to let them go to flower. I know they're good to eat for some people, but they make the most gorgeous flowers. And we had one artichoke last year, and the bees went crazy. They came from miles around. So, y'all, this is another Orient pear tree, looking healthy, but taking its time to produce some pears. So here we are. This is another pear tree, not an Orient, but just a regular. I believe it's even a Bartlett pear. And look at this. We do have a couple of pears. But again, fruit trees are a long-term investment. You just got to be patient. And I should have planted all of these fruit trees 10 years ago, but I didn't. But better late than never. There's another sunflower plant. So I got two of them. I wish everything grew like the sunflowers. And 2 or 3 weeks, these sunflower plants are going to have an enormous, gorgeous flower on them, probably multiple flowers. They believe the variety is Velvet Queen. Now look down here, y'all. This is borage that is starting to flower. So cool. I planted it specifically for the flowers. I've watched a couple of videos of what you can do with borage. Seems to be similar to comfrey. But again, the bees love these blue flowers. I got borage all over the garden. Got another herb going on. Got dill coming up on its own. And it's a ground cherry, a wild ground cherry growing on its own. So every year I have at least a couple of eggplants. And this year is no exception. Got my first eggplant down there. This eggplant is surrounded by some borage, but that's okay. It's protecting it. Yeah, some plants, like tomatoes and eggplants, I like to keep it down to just a few, because I've had eggplants in the past, 6, 7 of them, and I had so many eggplants, it was like a truckload of them. So, y'all, this is the first year I'm trying this out. This is some ginger, and planted that 6, 7 weeks ago. Just put it in the ground, and so far so good. I plan to use the ginger just for culinary purposes. Y'all, we have, several years ago, I planted some zinnias, and have not had to plant them since, because I've never seen any plant reseed like the zinnias, or zinnias, some people say. But they grow crazy, and in another month, the whole garden is going to be looking like this. So there's our apple tree again. More flowers. Shasta daisies. This is another Dollar Tree pack of seeds that I put in a pot, and just watered it, and they all came up, and then I put them in the ground right here. And you learn as you go along. I've learned that Shasta daisies are biennials, because of this was 2 years ago. The first year it was all green. They did not produce any flowers, but this year they are. Just enormous amount of flowers, and we even have some bees on them already. So if you're going to do a vegetable garden, you need flowers. They help pollinate, and it just adds so much beauty. I didn't think I would like flowers in my garden as much as I do, but it's just it's a win-win. Now this is a little pepper patch that I'm proud of. We have one banana pepper plant which is producing peppers, and I'm proud of those because those are from seeds from last year's crop. And the same can be said of these. These are bell peppers. We eat a ton of bell peppers. Like every recipe uses bell peppers. And yeah, we're getting them. And again, these are seeds that I saved. And so if you keep saving the seeds, your vegetable will acclimate itself to your climate, at least in a perfect world. So we got some cool stuff here, y'all. We got several bird houses, and it just adds to the beauty of it. And I tell you what, the birds come, they nest in there. This is a little perplexing. I bought this apple tree and this apple tree at the same time, and I planted them at the same time. And this is an Anna, just like that is an Anna. And this one producing leaves, but that's about all. So I don't know. Maybe you can, some advice. Is it the soil is basically the same? Maybe it's taking its time. I'm not giving up, but you can see the difference. Quite a difference between the two apple trees. So I see some flowers up there, so maybe there's hope. And then I'm coming back all the way around. I planted some beets. These are, gee, I hope I can pronounce it right. Chiaga. They striped, and they've been doing quite well. Look at that baby. So beets are another thing, and I'll be juicing this and baking beets. I enjoy the gardening on its own accord, but I have ulterior motives too, because I love to eat healthy. And if I'm going to grow it, then I'm going to eat it, or I'm going to juice it. So y'all, we have so much more that we could talk about, but right now we'll just leave it at that. I'm going to do other parts of the garden in future videos, and there's so much more, and so much more I have to say and want to tell you. So I hope you subscribe, because there's a lot more coming. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please put up a like, and I'll see y'all next time. Until then, bye from Madisonville, Louisiana. Bye-bye.